Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going through another yoga sequence. It is leg day for me, so this is a great warm-up or post cool down to stretch and relieve the hips, the lower back, and the entire body. We're going to get started on our back in bridge pose. So onto our back, our knees are bent and our feet are planted firmly, hands to the sides. We are going to inhale and draw the belly into the spine. And exhale, allow that pelvic tilt to come out. Inhale, draw the belly into the spine. And on the exhale, draw the hips up, squeezing the glutes, and then coming down. Just creating that movement into the belly, allowing the lower abdominals to activate as well. Mind-body connection to start this nice warm-up flow. Belly draws in, lift up the hips. We're just going to be here for about a minute. And then to modify, you can always have a block under your rear and just kind of have a static pose or hands under the back. Maybe you just need a little more release in the hips. You can come here and extend those arms, reach the hips to the sky, and then come down, just really opening up the hips, allowing movement from the pelvis and through the entire spine. Belly button comes in, flat back, drawing up those hips, allowing the abs to activate as well. Inhale, pelvic lift. Exhale, belly comes down to spine, and we're raising up into our bridge, squeezing the glutes at the top for the last time. Let's clasp our hands behind our back and extend those hands to our heels. Shoulder blades down and back. Extend the hips to the sky. Squeeze the glutes. You're here for 5 breaths. Last one. Good. Belly comes to the spine. Tuck the vertebrae down. Each lands vertebrae down to the mat, and we're going into extended arms. So we're going to have arms extended to T. Knees can collapse together, and you're just going to kind of windmill the knees side to side. On the inhale, the knees come up. On the exhale, you twist. Inhale, knees come up. Exhale, twist over to the opposite side. And for this last one, we're going to hold it for a couple breaths. So allow the knees to drop to the right, the gaze to the left, so arms in a T. 5 breaths here. For a deeper twist, you can allow that right ankle on to that thigh, allowing for a nice opener side body and the hips and the lower back here. Most important part is the shoulders stay to the ground. One more breath here. And switch the directions. Knees come up, knees drop to the left, gaze to the right, shoulders down. 5 breaths. Again, you can stay here, or you can allow that opposing ankle to come over the top knee for a just deeper stretch in the hip flexors, the lower back, and the spine. 5 breaths. Belly rises on the inhale and collapses on the exhale. One more here, and we'll come back to center. And back to the center, knees to the sky. Feet are going to come together for a reclined triangle pose. So if this is too much, you can extend one leg out for a reclined tree pose and allow that knee to expand. Great for the labrum and the hip opener. We're going to hold it for a minute, so it'd be about 30 seconds on each side if you were to hold the tree pose, or you can come back to the double triangle if that is something feels good for you. Deep breaths for 1 minute here. And if you did go into that tree pose, the single leg will switch the sides. So if you were on this side, you would open it back up, extend one leg, and open the opposing knee for that reclined triangle pose to allow the hips to open up for your workout, your morning routine, allowing some space between the hips and the labrums in the sockets of the hips. And again, you can be in that reclined triangle pose. We're here for just a few more breaths. Inhale and exhale, release. Good. Allow the knees to come together using your hands for some stability. Bring the knees to the chest and just rock side to side, massaging out the spine. And we will catch the right knee, allowing the left knee to extend fully, clasping behind the hamstring or behind the knee, just bringing that knee to the armpit here. Allowing for 5 breaths here again. Opening up the left side of that hip flexor and even psoas. And last one, last breath here. Inhale. And exhale, bring the knee closer to that armpit if you can. And release that to the other side, drawing in the left knee to the chest, grabbing behind the knee or the hamstring and pulling that knee into the armpit, and allow for 5 breaths here. Each breath expands the rib cage, expands the belly, and each exhale will allow length and release. Last breath here. And release that leg to the ground. Knees can knock and just side swipe those knees for one more windshield wiper until you come to your side. I'm on my right side, and I'm going to prop myself up, and we are going to come into a forward fold, and then we will come into our hands and knees. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, lengthen forward. Just grab onto the back of the feet or onto the shins, wherever you can, maybe even the toes. Try to find some length in the back and then extend the chest to the thighs. We won't be here for long. And release. Good. Come up. We're going to come onto all fours for bird dogs here. Knees under hips and hands under shoulders. And we're going to extend the right foot back, the left hand comes forward, extend and reach and crunch in. Extend and reach and crunch in. Extend. 4. Last one. And crunch. Coming back into center. Left leg extends back, right arm forward, extend into a nice bird dog, and crunch. And extend. Last one here. Good. All fours again, a couple cat-cows, and we'll come to downward dog. Inhale. Release the chest up to the sky. Exhale. Tuck the chin, dome the body, and come into your cat. Inhale. Allow the belly to drop. Extend the chest forward. Gaze goes up, and exhale. You release. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. One more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back into a neutral spine. We're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog, allowing the knees to bend and the heels to kind of flex down and back, allowing for our first downward dog to get some motion into the spine, pedaling out the feet here. Inhale and exhale, allow the heels to drop. Couple breaths here. Knees can be bent, extending the heels up to the sky, onto the tippy toes. Allow the heels drop to one side. I'm going to the left. Inhale up to the tippy toes. Allow those heels to drop to the opposing side. And back to center. Step, hop, or float to the top of your mat for our first sun salutation. Inhale, lift, halfway lift, flat back, extend the chin, extend the flat back, hands come to shins, and then release. Inhale, extend the arms up, hands clasp at the top, and back to heart center, Tadasana, mountain's pose. Let's take a deep breath in here, centering your tension for your flow. Inhale, reach the hands up, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, palms come to shins, flatten the back. Exhale, palms beat the mat. Step back, high plank. And slowly rolling down to your chest. You can drop your knees or you can stay nice and intact, flat back, bend at the elbows, baby cobra. Untuck the toes, peel the chest up to the sky, and release it down. Now straighten the hands or arms, or keep it at that baby cobra, and come in to a more forward flexion here, extending the chest and over the toes, downward dog. Inhale, the right foot comes up straight to start. And then if you feel the need to bend that knee, opening up the hip, we're going to do a couple ankle twists and rollouts. Maybe open up the hip, allow some movement in the hip joint there. And inhale, the knee comes to the chest, floating that foot between the hands and outside the mat. So we're going to allow the back knee to drop and then extend the arms up to the sky for a nice runner's lunge here. Palms can come to the thighs. Allow for a nice hip opener stretch here. Back flat. Maybe you need a block for some more stability. You can always have it to your side, or even for your knees, a soft pad below, like your towel or mat, yoga mat towel. Left hand comes to the mat. We're gonna waddle the right foot out to a wider stance, and make sure the back toes are untucked, pressing the hand into the thigh, allowing a nice spinal twist, opening up the hips and the psoas here, allowing breath to twist the body. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Now you can choose to stay here if you're feeling that nice hip opener and psoas opener, or you can bend at that back knee and allow to grab onto the back foot for a quad and psoas stretch. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we twist. 3 breaths here. One more here. Without allowing that leg to slingshot, we're gonna slowly allow that foot to come down. I need to pad my knees, so I'm gonna bring my towel closer, and we are going to allow that foot to come up and over. You're going to come almost at a 90-degree angle here. So you have this kind of triangle shape, and then you're gonna have your palm out inside the thigh, reach the opposing arm up, nice side body stretch here. 3 breaths. One more. Allow the hand to come down. That foot can come back to the back, and then we're going to come forward, or back I should say, into a hamstring stretch. So allowing the front leg to straighten as you bend back, sitting back into that heel, and allowing the chest to lengthen, the spine to lengthen, and then you fold forward. Nice hamstring stretch here. 3 breaths. And last one. So we can stay here, or we can come into a pigeon. The pigeon is going to be a great hip opener. You're going to allow the foot to come across the mat so your front shin is pretty much parallel. Now this is a very deep stretch for the hips, so if you need it like I do, you can allow for a block to be under your back hip, or even roll up that back towel to give you some stability so that back leg has some groundedness. So we're going to inhale, allow the pelvis and the pelvic floor to rise. Inhale up, and exhale, we fold forward into our pigeon fold. 3 breaths here. And if you want more, you can extend the hands forward and maybe walk them side to side, see which side body needs the best stretch or the most stretch. And we're here for just a few breaths. Breathing in, exhaling, releasing the fold. Even a block for the forehead's kind of nice here. And when you're ready, we're going to lift it up, palms come here, and you're going to sit on your side glute, whichever leg's out, roll over the opposing foot for one leg out and that opposing leg in. So forward fold on this one single leg. We're going to inhale, allow our body to square off to that leg. Exhaled, we fold. Three breaths, allowing length in the spine and allowing your chest to kind of fall forward however you see fit for your body. And inhale brings it up. Nice little side stretch. We're going to bring our palm up to face our arm inside that leg. Reach up and over for a quick little side body stretch. Maybe you grab onto that toe. Maybe you just reach, pulling the gaze back over that arm. Nice side body stretch here. 3 breaths. And last breath. And come back. We'll go into the other side, bending at the knees, and then kind of just windshielding, wiping the knees side to side. coming into all fours so we can come back into that downward dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, pedal out the feet. Second side, left leg comes up, straight leg, bend the lit knee if that feels good. Bringing the heel to the glute, opening up that side body. Maybe rolling out the ankle, the hips. And when you're ready, exhale, bring that foot between the hands and allow the back knee to drop. Inhale, rise up into that forward lunge. Palms can come to the thighs. Bring the body straight up. You should feel a nice hip flexor stretch here. 3 breaths. 1 more. Again, if you have a block, you can always have support in this position. And bringing your hands to the mat so you can pivot your foot outside in a wide stance, allowing that palm to come inside the thigh, opening up so as hip flexor stretch. If this is enough for you, you can keep it here. If you want quad and psoas, bend that knee, allowing to grab onto the back of the foot for that stretch. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we twist. 3 breaths here. One more. Good. Allowing that foot not to slingshot, we're going to bring it over to this side. 90-degree angle, almost like a triangle here. And then arm comes into that thigh, over the top. And you're going to open up the chest and look past that arm and shoulder there. Nice side body stretch here. 3 breaths. One more big one. And release. Allow that foot to come behind you. Palms in front of you. It's straddling the front leg. Bring that foot, toes to the nose, and then allow that nice hamstring stretch here. If you have a full split, go for it. Or even use your block for support under here if you need it for that full split. Coming into our pigeon, we're going to come back into that high lunge and allow that foot to come across our mat into a parallel version here, and allow that back foot to come here. And again, towel block under that rear glute is a definite good stabilizer to protect that hip joint. I prefer the blanket or towel for my support. And then we're going to allow length and fold. Hands can come to the forehead, or for a more of a upper body stretch, full body stretch, you can extend the arms, allowing some movement left to right, seeing where it feels best for your body. One last breath. And rising up. Sitting on that side glute, whichever leg is forward, it's the left for me. We're going to prop onto our side, swing the opposing leg to the front, and then the opposing foot comes into that thigh for our forward fold on the right side. Inhale the arms up, allow the square off towards those toes, grabbing behind the foot, grab the toe, grabbing the shin, whatever's available to you. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we fold. Just 3 breaths here. And release it down. Extend it out. And come on up. We're gonna come into that side stretch. Palms stay up. Your forearm comes into that inner thigh. Reach the opposing arm back for a side body stretch. Maybe you grab onto that toe. Maybe you just stay here and find length. Allow both cheeks of the glutes to stay grounded. Breathing in, exhaling out. Last one here, and release it, coming up, and hands behind your back. Again, side shuffle the legs, side to side, coming on to your all fours for our final pose, child pose. We're gonna get into child's pose by starting with some rock backs. Toes touch, knees come wide. Inhale, exhale, we allow the hips to sink and come up. Sink. Chest comes to the ground or as far as you can make it. And inhale, we come up. Last one here, we're gonna hold it in the child's pose, allowing for release in the lower spine and the hips. We create space between the socket in our child's pose, allowing for length and openness in our hips, our lower back, and our entire body. Inhale, exhale, release. 3 breaths here. Maybe you bring your hands to your heels. Find your comfort. And when you're ready, you can stay here and find your meditation and your length, or you can come into all fours, sitting back into the heels, palms up. Inhale the palms to the sky and allow the hands to twist to one side. One palm comes behind the thigh and then twist. Inhale the arms up, opposing side. Last asana here, and stretching out the upper body. And coming back to center. Thank you for joining me on this practice. Namaste.